So you know that the government has been going on and on and on about this £22 billion black hole that was left by...
this government.
That government. While the current government has pledged nearly £22 billion of money that they say they don't have to fund projects that capture greenhouse gases from polluting plants and store them underground. That is, polluting power plants, not plants, like trees and flowers and grass.
Want to score some pot?
Not that kind of grass. The plans are designed to generate private investment and jobs in Merseyside and Teesside, wherever they are. 2 industry-heavy areas that will be home to the new carbon capture cluster. A 3-word phrase that's also alliterative. Carbon capture clusters. I'm convinced... The Energy Secretary and Net Zero Secretary Ed Miliband told Sky News today, a new era begins. He said, a new industry that stops carbon going into the atmosphere, providing good jobs and shows the government is investing in the country. Blimey, if he had said that it was the right thing to do, I would have imagined that I'd been transported back in time under...
this government.
Under that government. Yes, we're spending it, and it's the right thing to do. Is it, though? It shows the government is investing in the country, says Ed Miliband. Does it? Or does it show that the government is investing in the fossil fuel industry that pushes this carbon capture as a reason to keep on drilling for that hot, delicious oil? Carbon capture, utilisation and storage supposedly captures the planet-warming carbon dioxide released from burning fossil fuels or from heavy industry and puts it to use or stores it underground. Do not think about calling me if you're one of those people that says that no amount of carbon dioxide is good for the atmosphere because that's what trees breathe. Even if you have done your research, don't even think about it. Problem is that carbon capture, utilisation and storage is expensive and difficult. But the UK's climate advisors, the Climate Change Committee and the United Nations scientists say it is essential to get the world to net zero, which the UK is targeting for 2050. And so the government has committed up to £21.7 billion over 25 years to be given in subsidies.
Oh, no.
Subsidies. They're not building this themselves. They're giving subsidies worth £22 billion to private enterprise. It's going to be split between 3 projects which are capturing carbon dioxide released from either making hydrogen, generating gas power or burning waste to create energy from 2022. And that £22 billion, by the way, is just a subsidy to build these carbon capture clusters, not to actually run them. That's going to be extra.
What?
Yeah, extra. And it will be paid for by us, I expect. So, the government has committed £22 billion over 25 years to be given in subsidies to sites in the Teesside and Merseyside clusters. It's going to be split between 3 projects and is going to come online apparently in 2028. And the gas, up to 8.5 million tonnes of carbon emissions, is going to be locked away in empty gas fields in the Liverpool Bay in the North Sea, where it will remain forever. Probably not. Because that's the thing with gas, tends to leak. The government hopes that it will attract £8 billion in private investment and create 4,000 direct jobs. So that's £8 billion from private enterprise and £22 billion from us poor dopes who pay tax. You know.
The little people. But it ain't like you think. It ain't leprechauns, don't you see? It's little men from Mars or somewhere. And it ain't a toadstool they're under. It's a spaceship.
And that means that every pound is subsidised by almost 3 times as many taxpayer pounds. And shall we guess where the 100% of the profits are going to go? I mean, not much thought required there. Hang on a minute. That's better. I mean, It's also £30 billion for 4,000 jobs, which seems like a lot. That's £7,500,000 per job. You know, like the CEO of a supermarket chain. I mean, if you can't price it solely on the amount of jobs it's going to create, if it actually did the country good, well, maybe. But it looks like we're spending £30 billion just to let the fossil fuel giants off the hook for the devastation that their product brings. And it gets worse. Because of the way they're going to come up with the public funds to let the fossil fuel companies off the hook is to raise fuel bills higher. What? Yeah, so we'll be paying the fossil fuel giants more for a product that they're already making record profits on, and we'll subsidise their clean-up so they can keep making those profits by doing the thing that needs cleaning up, and we'll be paying higher prices to them for the privilege.
Fabulous.
Am I getting any of this wrong yet? The £22 billion that the government has committed to the project is notably about the same amount as the £22 billion black hole that Labour said the Conservative government left it with. You know.
This government.
That government. The one with integrity and whatever the hell else it... whatever else it was that he said. But Skier insisted that the carbon storage and capture scheme is going to unlock billions of pounds of private investment. But that doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, we either have the money or we don't. And private investment only appears when they can see a way to make big profits. So someone's going to lose, and I expect it will be us. Because they said the same about the water industry. Oh, don't worry about it. We'll attract private investment, create jobs, improve the infrastructure, clean up Britain. How's that going, by the way?
Dreadful.
That's right. Does it work? Well, no. It's made slow progress. It's been promised for decades, but barely scaled. Just 45 commercial sites globally, according to the International Energy Agency. The world's first carbon capture plant has stored CO2 under Norway's waters since 1996, although elsewhere, concerns linger about whether some projects leak gas. Yeah, I bet they do. Greenpeace's UK head of being the head of Greenpeace UK, Doug Parr, said, he warned of a risk of locking ourselves into second-rate solutions, especially as the oil industry would easily hoover up most of the money to continue business as usual. Which is the kind of talk, by the way, that gets you 3 years in prison if you said it on a Zoom call. What a way to run a country, eh?